think this is a good little segue into the conversation, the story that you shared with your audience some time ago, which definitely moved me. And you reminded me about it in one of your recent podcasts, which is the Freddie story.
Oh, yeah.
And I've got to be honest, there's not many things, there's nothing I don't think I've ever cried to, and I didn't cry to that, but if I wanted to push myself to tears, I could have easily done it because it was such a moving story. And it's stuff like that that solidifies what we just spoke about being grateful and thankful about the life that we got right now. Because when you're faced with a scenario like Freddie was, God bless him, it's like all the stuff that we think we care about, the cars, the watches, the holidays, the whatever, it just all falls away. And it's about the communications, the conversations. Like, I've got a friend of mine who's got 2 garages and he also has got 120 properties, right? And he's a bit older than me and I consider him successful and he's doing really well. Got a Lamborghini, £2.5 million house, blah, 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 blah. And he turned around to me once, he said, all I want to be in life is successful. And I'm not talking about money. And he said, one of the gifts that you've got with this podcast is being successful because you're having engaging conversations. He said, I don't have that. Yeah, I've got properties and stuff, but I don't have this. And it reminded me a little bit when Freddie was saying to you about he just wanted to meet you. He just wanted to have a conversation with you. Because that was his currency at that present point in time.
The maddest thing, because there's so many things that happened to talk about that. I've only just started his name before I started crying. I got a tear by my eyes. When he said his name, before I started crying, I got a tear by my eyes. The maddest thing, yeah. It's like, imagine how many lives that changed. Imagine how many lives that changed. Contact mum, I'm still in all the time. I always check in because I always said to him, I always check in because I look after mum. I only met this kid once. Only happens, I look after mum. But only met this kid. When I offered him everything that day, when I offered him everything that day, it was at the same time when I probably didn't get it at the time. But it was at the same time when I said that I just earned my first million. I was probably on a bit of a buzz, but then also on a downer at the same time because I said I was in a bit of a dark place. And I turned at the same time because I said I was in a bit of a dark place. I said I'm in a bad place, I can't do it. Because I said I'm in a bad place, I can't do it. If you're going to send a kid to me, who if you're going to potentially I'm going to meet and he's going to die, I can't do it. Potentially I'm going to meet, my mind is fucked I can't right now. Like my mind is me being selfish. And something told me stop being selfish. It's me being selfish. And something told me stop being selfish. So when I met him, I had everything laid out for him. Yeah, I was like a camera. I had everything laid out for him. Yeah, I was like a camera crew. He had all the turned up in a Rolls Royce. I offered him everything, but all we wanted is time. I offered him everything, but all we wanted is time. Time, bro. And that was it. Saying that you waste so much in it. How much time? Saying that you waste so much in it. Trying to chase money to buy things that can't. Trying to chase money to buy things. That was it. What it done for time because that was it. What it done for me, man. There you go. Let's go on that website. I was like, whatever you want. There you go. Let's go on that website. Have whatever you want. When I think about what fucking stupid thing I've done, why am I offering this kid loads of stuff? He wanted time. He just wanted me there. Didn't want anything else. Just wanted to talk. And I'm like, that my whole model of how I've based my life has been for the wrong thing. It was to get money to buy things. Money's to buy time. To buy moments, man. And that's what I realised after that. And this is why I do this, because there's nothing more like for me is sitting there looking at someone. No offence to anyone watching this. I've got a fucking phone book of people from millions to billions, right? Who could sit there all day and show me their car collection, their watches. I couldn't give a fuck. Show me what you've done. What you've done for your community. What have you done to change someone's life? What do you do every day to better someone else? That's what matters to me, man, because the money never worked for me. It might work for someone else. If that car makes you content, then fucking good on you, man. I'm glad you found it. But as I said, when I earned the money, it put me backwards and it made me think, shit, I've been searching for the wrong thing. When I sat down with this kid and I realised what I'd done and how much I changed his life, shit really got real for me. And it started making me go against people because I've sat down with so many billionaires that just speak to me shit about what they've got. I don't give a fuck, man. I've had all that shit. Who cares? Who cares, innit? Really? Who cares? Like, either way, we're all going to the same destination, innit? And the real buzz was being able to meet this kid and tell this story. That was something which was a life changer for me, man. And the time part of it, the time part on both sides, his mum, man. All his mum wanted was time. His mum didn't want nothing. She wanted time just a bit more time. That's all she wanted. And I've offered her the world, man. She won't have nothing. She just wants to talk about memories with that boy. And that for me is just, yeah, what more wake-up call do you need than that?
You remember when you, obviously meeting him for the first time, but then when you got the call that he passed, do you remember that feeling? Do you remember where you were?
Yeah, I'll never forget it. Funny enough, I was on the plane with my guy two days ago, and I said to him, yeah, shit, man, I can't look at that colour no more. I had that tracksuit on the day I found out Freddie died. Do you remember I said that to you? I can't get out of my head. I can't get out of my head. It's mad. Because, mate, it was the first time I really realised what life was, man. It's like, yeah, I remember everything clearly of that. I don't know, man, the whole thing behind it was, I remember I forgot everything during this really height of my ADHD, which I feel like was from when I started the business till last year, yeah? I can't get that out of my head that day. Because, and the reason I can't get out of my head, yeah, I'm going to be honest with you, is because I didn't leave it that day where it was just like, you met Freddie and that was it. I spoke to him every day, man. And a lot of the time, he was in hospital the majority of the time after because it got bad for him. And he used to message me a lot. And a lot of the time, I didn't reply for a while because I was so busy doing other things. And I don't forgive myself for that. Because there's a lot of the time where I was like, once again, chasing what I thought was what mattered. And it wasn't until he died, I thought, fuck. Didn't go up the hospital to him. I didn't go and present him that shoe face to face, man. I beat myself up about that massively today because I didn't push through the shoe quick enough for him to see it because I had other things going on and he didn't see it. So that left a massive part of me, which was like, it made me feel like I had to do more, man. I had to become a better person because as much as I sat down and I'd done the whole thing with him that day, I didn't follow it up right, man. I didn't know how to. I don't know. I knew he never had long left, so I don't know if I didn't want to get too close to him because it was going to make it worse for me when something did happen to him. But, bruv, I've never left nothing on the table, but in this one I did. I was like, wow, I can't. I couldn't do it. I don't know where it was. I could have went there and just made these last few. I probably could have made it even better for him, but listen, hindsight's a fucker, innit? I don't feel like I've done enough with that, and it probably made me feel like I needed to in my life change things. But core was it a wake up call that God sent me, that kid, and I still look back at him in certain scenarios when I'm being a bitch about things, and it brings a lot onto me. And I never admitted that I probably didn't give him enough in like the last part of his life. So yeah, I do remember the day he died because the first thing I thought was, fuck, I didn't deliver what I said I was going to do to him. That's why I've gone above and beyond, I think. And yeah, I don't know. It's a big regret of me, man. That was staying me forever, that will. Because as much as I've done a lot to change his final part of his life, and he probably don't look at it any different, I could have delivered that shoe to him in person and showed him it. But instead, I was too busy fucking fighting my own battle, my own head, man. I was still probably quite selfish. So yeah, I remember that day when he died because I was like, shit, fuck this one right up. I didn't do what I said I was going to do there. But I've got time to fix it with the family, and I've got time to fix it by releasing the shoe and making sure that I do what I said I was going to do. But yeah, I think about it every day, man. Definitely. It's definitely a big change in my life come from that.